Breaking right now at noon, a major shakeup to NASA's Artemis program. Why officials say the plan for that program needs to change. Plus, gambling takedown. It spans four counties.
This isn't just bingo or Uno at the dining room table. If you're out there and you want to go gamble and you think, oh, wow, it's in a nail salon, that's probably too good to be true.
More than 500 machines already seized as the Attorney General says those numbers are only growing. You are watching News 6 at noon.
Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live. You're watching News 6 at noon.
Well, thanks so much for joining us this noon. I'm Lauren Melendez, joined by News 6's Eric Von Enk, and we've got a lot to talk about, starting with this breaking news story. NASA's new administrator just announced a big shakeup for the plan to get to the moon. It is not just the Artemis 2 mission that's actually facing changes, Eric. It's the entire program.
This sounds big, Lauren, but there have been rumors of this coming for a long time, that Artemis 3, so that's the one that was supposed to land on the moon, would not be able to actually do that, to land on the moon, because everything wouldn't be ready. And by everything, I mean NASA, the additional hardware, the additional technology, and the expertise to do this. So NASA's new administrator, as you said, admitted it's just not a good idea to jump from Artemis 2. So this is the one we're trying to get off the ground right now, this one that you're looking at on your screen, that is supposed to do a test flight around the moon with astronauts, to jumping to landing on the moon with Artemis 3, especially when we're having all these hydrogen and helium problems right now. So this is why NASA, right here you see, rolled back this giant moon-bound rocket from the launch pad into the vehicle assembly building just over the past few days to try and fix some of these problems so we can actually get back to launching.
And why is that essentially the case? Look, 3+ year launch cadence. I mean, Artemis 3 right now, as it's currently designed, won't fly for approximately another 3 years. So launching a rocket as important and as complex as SLS every 3 years is not a path to success. A component of that is when you are launching every 3 years, your skills atrophy. You lose muscle memory.
So here's the new plan. Get Artemis 2 with astronauts off the ground and around the moon ASAP. So that means the April launch window is still in play. Then in 2027, a year sooner, we launch Artemis 3 and we do not land on the moon, but instead go to low Earth orbit and practice meeting up with that lunar lander. Again, that's also technology that hasn't yet been developed. We're trying to figure that out. Then in 2028, that's when we go for Artemis 4 and actually put astronauts on the moon.
And Eric, it sounds like the big takeaway is, look, this thing has to be perfect. They've got to get this right no matter what they do. You can't launch something of this magnitude and not know what to expect.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Lauren. So Jared Isaacman, I have to say, is really the first person at NASA in a long, long time at the head to acknowledge the obvious things that we've been talking about over and over again, that there probably is better technology out there. Remember, this rocket, the SLS, was built largely with old space shuttle parts to try and sell it to Congress because it was supposed to be cheaper and supposed to be simpler. It did not turn out that way. Jared Isaacman is now putting the reality on the table.
We need somebody who's going to be a straight shooter, and we're going to keep covering it, so we're going to keep leaning on you.
Yeah,
Eric
I'm here.
Von Enk,
In fact, I'll see you all afternoon working on this.
Perfect. We'll be joining you soon.
Sure.
All right, let's get you a look at this. There are some 525 machines Florida State Attorney General said were seized. This is the, quote, largest of its kind gambling sting over the past few days. And according to the AG, this sting spanned 4 counties and more than $200,000 in cash. Those numbers also, according to the AG, only expected to grow. News 6's Mark Lehman was at today's announcement. He brings us the very latest.
Right here are just some of the hundreds of illegal gambling machines that were seized as part of this large-scale operation. Dozens of establishments have been shut down. The state says there's much more to come.
Don't roll the dice. Don't test your luck.
Attorney General James Othmeyer announcing one of Florida's largest crackdowns on illegal gambling. 525 gaming machines are now being stored in 2 Brevard County warehouses after an operation targeting 40 unlicensed locations in Brevard, Volusia, Flagler, and Duval counties.
These are unlawful sites. They not only suck revenue out of our economy, away from our state, but they also facilitate more serious crimes.
Florida's Gaming Control Commission leading the investigation, and the chairman says the machines are rigged for players to lose.
I want to remind everybody that slot machines are illegal in these casinos. They're not tested, they're not regulated, they provide no consumer protections for the players.
Nearly $200,000 in cash was seized, with law enforcement saying there are often more serious crimes tied to the activity.
When you look at the impact across the board, from those that are involved in it illegally to the money being used for other criminal activity, that's why we enforce this.
Meanwhile, Uthmeier is warning anyone who is continuing to take part in illegal gambling across the state.
Do not bet against the house on this one, I promise you. It is not going to work out well for you.
Part of the problem with illegal establishments popping up is it's currently only a misdemeanor to operate one. That's something being addressed in a bill moving through the legislature right now, and if passed, it would strengthen punishment to a third-degree felony. In Brevard County, Mark Lehman, News 6.
Don't bet against the house. Okay. Let's get to our forecast now. Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos joining us. For all the folks who think they need to cancel their plans, they're trying to get out of it, little rain is not going to stop anybody's show.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to see rain chances increasing this afternoon and again on Saturday. Not a washout, but we're slowly starting to see little hints of what could be more of a more active summer pattern as we head over the next couple of weeks. But looking at our live look right now, lakefront looking nice. There's someone out there enjoying the day. We're at 79 degrees, holding at 80 at OIA, Daytona Beach at 79 as well. Now temperatures are going to continue to ramp up. We're going to get back into those low 80s, all as that warmth and the humidity really builds in as our next front is now making its way into northern Florida. But this is going to be batch number 2. This is what's really going to be fueling the afternoon thunderstorms on Saturday. It's this first little round, a little pulse of action that we're going to be tracking over the next couple of hours that will be bringing us a good dose for rain later on this evening. We'll be breaking down the timeline and what you can expect as some of this rain does work its way into the weekend coming up in just a couple minutes.
All right, thank you so much, Chief. Open carry at Daytona Beach Bike Week for the first time in its 85-year history. This is big, but look, just because it's legal does not mean safety is not important. It is one of the many things event organizers and first responders are dealing with this year. News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez shows us the change to firearms. It's just one of many things that they are addressing this year.
1 year after dealing with 120 trauma situations during Bike Week, Halifax Health is urging caution.
If you can wear your protective gear and please closed-toed shoes, you're more likely to keep the parts attached to you.
Dr. Janine Jordan hopes messaging safety will continue to lead to fewer injuries.
The data on this is extremely clear and unrefutable. Riders who do not wear a helmet are more likely to suffer life-threatening injuries or devastating lifelong injuries.
And in another effort to keep the roads safe, for the first time ever, AAA is offering its free tow-to-go service during Bike Week. The program, usually only activated during holidays, will pick up any vehicle, motorcycle, or driver and give them a ride home within a 10-mile radius.
I think a lot of times you have people who are more likely to ride impaired because they're just afraid of leaving their motorcycle behind at the bar. AAA is eliminating that excuse altogether.
This is also the first Bike Week that people can open carry, allowing gun owners to visibly wear their firearms. However, private property owners and venues can restrict guns. Daytona Beach Police will be fully staffed the next 10 days and ramping up its DUI enforcement.
So it's our first Bike Week, but we've already had Biketoberfest, and we had no issues during Biketoberfest. I believe there was one protest that we monitored, but literally we had no issues, so I'm hoping for the same for the next 10 days.
In Daytona Beach, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
Stephanie, thank you. Who is buying up buildings in downtown Winter Garden? That is the question people who both live and shop there are demanding to know. And last night, it was a packed house at their commission meeting, so packed, in fact, people were getting turned away. News 6's Troy Campbell was there. He's letting us know what the community has to say.
Small businesses aren't just a storefront. They're families and employees, students having their first jobs.
Community members and business owners in Winter Garden showing up to speak face-to-face with the Winter Garden City Commission, concerned about the closure of small businesses after several recent property sales downtown.
It was a transaction, and exactly that. That is not what this community is about. That is not why I moved my business here.
According to property records, at least 9 buildings in downtown Winter Garden were sold in 2025. 6 of them to the same buyer, who already has ties to the Winter Garden area. However, in more than a week that has passed since we've contacted them about their plans for the properties, we've yet to hear back.
We cannot pass regulations that explicitly ban things like chain stores or franchises in the city.
During Thursday's commission meeting, city representatives explained there are several constitutional and federal restrictions that would prevent them from denying the majority of new businesses. However, the city says it can control zoning categories, along with architectural restrictions to keep the small town look.
We went to get coffee at the Three Birds Cafe. We heard they were closing, so we wanted to try it one last time.
We caught up with Kata Statlin after she got her last cup of coffee from Three Birds Cafe, just hours before the business says it will close for good in downtown Winter Garden after 7 years.
What was your reaction when you heard they were closing?
We were sad. We always go there.
Here outside Three Birds Cafe, just looking through the windows, we can see workers cleaning up some of the tables during their last hours of being open. We spoke to some of their customers who say it's very important to keep these small and pop businesses.
What's one of the best parts about going to one of these type of small coffee shops?
Just supporting them, like local businesses. And then it's so beautiful out here, so you could come out and drink some coffee and enjoy it.
It is a small town inside a big area that's really populated, so you have everything that you need.
Valerie Mann says the small businesses in downtown shape the community.
I moved here because of this place. I moved here because I walk here every day on the trail.
And that was Troy Campbell. It is set to be a busy weekend across Central Florida, and you might need to get outside. So you know we've got you covered. Coming up, meteorologist Michelle Morgan has your 6 things to do this weekend, including a big game in downtown Orlando. We'll be right back.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Florida Lottery.
If you're looking for something fun to do this weekend, you're in the right place. I'm meteorologist Michelle Morgan here at the German American Society of Central Florida, where Night on the Rhine will be taking place on Saturday. I spoke to the president, Linda Rosell, about what you can expect.
They can expect a great time with a bunch of friendly, fun people, fantastic music, great food, just a lot of party.
It starts at 6 and tickets can be purchased online. The Strawberry Festival starts this weekend and runs every weekend through March 15th from 10 a.m. through 6 p.m. at Amber Brook Farms. There will be fresh strawberries, family fun, and live entertainment. Tickets are about $20. Looking for amazing food? Panda Fest is happening all weekend. Times vary. It's one of the largest outdoor Asian food festivals in the United States, featuring 200+ street food options, live performances, and fun panda-themed decor and activities. Tickets are around $14. Need a date night idea? An evening sleeping at last at the Dr. Phillips Center for the Performing Arts will be happening on Saturday at 8 p.m. It'll be a night of unforgettable music. It's setting up to be a great night for soccer as Orlando City Soccer Club hosts Inter Miami on Sunday at 7 p.m. at Inter & Co Stadium. The Central Florida Fair returns to Orlando, happening this weekend through March 8th to celebrate family fun, food, and tradition. General admission is $16. And if you have something fun happening in your town next weekend, let me know. I've been getting so many cool events from viewers just like you. Just head over to clickorlando.com or our new 6 app. Just click Contact Us.
All right, Michelle, thank you so much. Let's get to our forecast now with Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos. We are expecting some rain over the weekend. We've got a warm up, we've got drought conditions, you name it.
Right, and our ongoing drought conditions have been a big issue over the last several weeks just because we haven't had any rain. And today and tomorrow we'll be able to actually rack up some significant rainfall. It won't bust the drought, but maybe make a little dent to it. So let's look here at the satellite and radar composite. We're watching 2 different rounds of rain, one on Friday, one on Saturday. The first one is a little plume of some of that heavy downpours you can see there coming in out of the Gulf. This is going to arrive first. Now, while this moisture might not hold completely and move over Central Florida, the energy will. And as we really warm up throughout the afternoon today, highs back into those 80s, it will kind of destabilize our atmosphere and fuel the possibility of more storms. Then round number 2 comes in later on tomorrow. As that cold front comes through, it will be bringing in some light scattered showers throughout the overnight. But as this front turns stationary overhead, it is going to fuel another round of active afternoon on Saturday. So you can see here on the radar sweeps are going around, but we're actually pulling it out of Tampa at this point to really give you a better view of all that rain that's out there right now over the Gulf. Again, all of this is going to continue to work its way in. Still right now packing a lot of lightning, some heavy downpours at this point. So again, this is all the calm before the storm. We talked about it all morning long. I do think dismissal time for after school pickup and whatnot should be good to go. I think it's after that where rain chances really start to ramp up. Also ramping up those temperatures right now in the upper 70s to near 80. Now let's check on that hour-by-hour forecast for today.
Your forecast is sponsored by Strata Services.
It's going to be a warm day. It's already a warm day. We're up to 85 degrees, but notice what happens as we head into the evening after about 5, 6 o'clock. That's where rain chances are really going to surge upwards about 60%. So I do want to show you the latest computer model runs. You can see the cold front there on the top of your screen. Here's round number 1. This is all the action we're watching currently in the Gulf. All that's going to continue to surge in. You can see all the little red here indicating the potential for some gusty winds, some heavy downpours, even some frequent lightning. Now the good news is all this moisture is packing a lot of rain. So if we do see lightning, it will be embedded with a lot of additional rainfall that hopefully will limit the potential for lightning striking and causing a brush fire. But as you can see throughout the overnight, most of it thins out. Some light scattered showers, maybe some heavier downpours linger there in Brevard County. And then as this front turns practically stationary, it will have the ability to be that focal point of developing a couple more rounds of scattered showers and thunderstorms as we head into Saturday evening. So again, it's going to be a 1-2 punch, all kind of from the same system, that when we add the 2 days together, we could rack up some significant rainfall. European model still shows rainfall rates between 1 and 1.5 inches of rainfall. GFS does the same. But that cold front, by the way, is just by name. It doesn't have any real cold air behind it. We're going to stay pretty warm for the rest of next week and even into spring break come middle of March.
I was like, oh, May already?
Not
I'm
yet.
getting excited.
March.
I know. Thanks, Chief. An exciting new Central Florida coaster blends Cosmos and STEM. Coming up, we've got to look at the only coaster opening in Florida this year as we talk to somebody who helped make it possible. Also, coming up tonight on News 6.
To be number one is a huge honor, and I don't take that lightly.
19 years of service to the city of Orlando as a firefighter and paramedic. Now he is the Florida Professional Firefighter of the Year. Tonight, the story of Lieutenant Ron Huguenin as we continue to celebrate Black History Month. Hey there, welcome back. A mix of cosmic thrills and a dose of STEM. That's exactly what you can expect on Legoland's new Galactic Coaster. So this experience, it blends storytelling and 20,000 minifigures. It's interactive and creative with 625 ways of designing your own coaster. Officials with the ride told us why it's so special.
What's so exciting is this is the only coaster launching in Florida in 2026. And as you go through the interactive queue, you meet Space Dipper, Biff Dipper.
3, 2, 1.
He's our first ever robotic minifigure. He guides you through the ride. And then what's really exciting and unique, as a family, you can then build your own roller coaster.
That is pretty cool. The ride is actually open already. We've got more details on our website, clickorlando.com, if you're interested, and we'll be right back. All right, we're excited to finally talk about some rain coming this weekend. It may make a little bit of a dent in our drought. I know you were kind of measuring what we could see.
Yeah, about 1.5 inches or so, maybe 2 inches if we're lucky of rainfall. But really, at the end of the day, it's going to come in kind of 2 rounds. So we have the first round coming in this afternoon. We're tracking it already coming in out of the Gulf. And as that surges in, rain chances will bump up. We have a lot of instability. We got a lot of moisture. We got a lot of heat, very summer-like. And then as we head into Saturday, same setup. I know you see a 50 and a 60%. And that looks like a complete washout. It is not going to be a washout. It's just think summertime, a little bit of sunshine, heat, and some rain.
That's normal. We can deal with that.
Exactly.
And it's good news, too. All right, friends, thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you on Monday.